I'm going to put my chips on the table. 2020 is the last Brickyard 400. Nailed it. A tradition is broken. After 27 years of racing on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Oval, NASCAR's Cup Series will come to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course August 15th of 2021. The Brickyard 400 is no more. Long live the Brickyard Weekend. And why is it called the Brickyard Weekend? Well, I guess you could call it now traditional IndyCar NASCAR doubleheader will continue as IndyCar will host its second race of the season on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course alongside the NASCAR Cup Series. So that clip you saw at the beginning of this video was from early 2019 when the date change was announced for 2020, which was to move the Brickyard to July 4th weekend. And at the time, I thought that is a Hail Mary play to save the Brickyard 400. Now, we couldn't have predicted all of the crazy stuff that has happened post early 2019 and the pandemic and all the factors that are out there, because ultimately we only really have TV ratings to go off of to determine whether the Brickyard weekend was a success this year or whether it was not. A change has been made, and it's a major break in tradition. When I caught wind of this happening a couple of days ago, my thoughts were disappointed but not surprised. And my disappointment stems from certainly a traditionalist standpoint. No doubt about it. The Brickyard 400 has gone on for 27 years on the oval. They're no longer calling this race the Brickyard 400, and quite honestly, I don't consider it a continuation of the Brickyard 400. This race, this change, is essentially, in some ways, an admission of failure with the Brickyard 400, which is hard to believe considering where this event was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, nearly 30 years ago when it was first announced. Hard to believe we've gotten to this point, but we're here. The road course race at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is certainly something that you had heard people on social media talk about. It had been suggested. I didn't think it was ever actually going to happen. And if it did happen, I've always suggested that it should be 200 miles on the road course on Saturday, 200 miles on the oval on Sunday for the Cup cars, still call it Brickyard 400 weekend. This is the final Hail Mary as far as I'm concerned. If NASCAR and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway can't make this an exciting event that gets fans engaged and excited, NASCAR at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is just not going to work. Now, there are some positive aspects to this. I don't want to come off as completely negative in this video. The first thing I think I should address is the fact that the Xfinity Road Course Indianapolis race this year was simply excellent. An excellent auto race. Just across the board, fantastic. Extremely exciting finish, extremely exciting battle, a great winner in Chase Briscoe. Can the Cup Series replicate that product? That would be my main concern. We've seen pretty much across the board this season, the Xfinity Series has just been excellent product-wise. The Cup Series on the same tracks often does not match the intensity level and the excitement of that style of racing. So that's my main concern if we're talking about a product marketing standpoint. And sustainability is going to be the big key here. And the Brickyard 400, even in its worst state, was pulling upwards of 50, 60,000 people coming to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, possibly more than that. Is the road course race going to generate that kind of interest and sustain it over a period of, let me just ask this question. Do you honestly believe, and let me know down in the comments, do you honestly believe that an Indianapolis road course race will have the sustainability of the 27 years that the oval race did? That's the big thing for me. Now, one thing that will help it, and I've said this since it was announced earlier this year, and honestly, it was kind of a COVID-related thing. We probably would have never gotten this otherwise. The IndyCar NASCAR doubleheader. That's a big factor, and I think that's going to sell some tickets. The IndyCar drivers, by and large, there are some exceptions. By and large, in the Indianapolis area, are more well-known, more well-liked than the majority of the NASCAR Cup Series drivers. So having the IndyCar drivers that will help cross-promote the Cup Series drivers and the Cup Series show will certainly help attendance-wise with this event. Again, I get to the point of IndyCars, even for their road course race, can't really generate 60,000 people on their home turf at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. There is also the thing that needs to be addressed, which, from my perspective, I don't like it anyway. I was hoping that this would give them an excuse to get that damn road course race out of the month of May. But let's talk about the oversaturation in terms of Indy cars running on the road course at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. By the end of this year, you will have had 3 races at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course for Indy cars. By next year, you will have had 5 races at the track in 13 months, the road course. And 4 races that fans will have been able to attend. I think fans are going to get burned out on Indy cars at the road course, being totally honest. So the uniqueness of this event, the selling point, one of the selling points of the event, which is the unique aspect of it, that IndyCar side of it is not going to be there. The unique part is going to be able to hopefully buy one ticket, a weekend ticket, and be able to watch Indy cars and stock cars on the road course in the same weekend and see all of those teams intermingle, hopefully have some crossover drivers. Fingers crossed, we'll see. We know Jimmy Johnson's going to be there. That will help drive interest, certainly from a NASCAR fan perspective. A lot of NASCAR fans are probably going to want to see Jimmy Johnson race Indy cars, and this is probably going to be the race that they choose to do that. So from that perspective, I think you'll see whatever the attendance is, both days it's probably going to be very good. I think short term this is going to be a win for Indianapolis and NASCAR. Long term, that's where my questions start to arise. That's where I start to wonder, is this sustainable? Doug Bowles has mentioned the possibility of moving the race back to the oval at some point if this is not successful. Maybe the next gen car will solve some of the issues that the current gen stock cars have on tracks like Indianapolis. I guess we'll have to judge some of the Pocono races in the coming years as to whether or not that is a possibility. But if this is a rousing success, this event is probably here to stay. Whether you think that's a good thing or a bad thing, again, you're going to have to let me know down in the comment section below. I think I would give this I don't want to necessarily say a letter grade. I think this is a 50-50 shot. I think this could work. I think this could not work. I do think having that IndyCar NASCAR doubleheader is going to be a selling point. I think the fans are initially going to be excited about it. Long term, we'll have to wait and see. More schedule, NASCAR news coming. Lots more to talk about. I'll give you guys pretty much a good, the bad, and the ugly review of the entire schedule when it gets released officially later this afternoon. So be on the lookout for that video. Let me know what you think of the Brickyard weekend for 2021. The Brickyard 400 is no more. Long live Brickyard weekend with IndyCar and NASCAR together. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe for more motorsport content, and I will see you in the next video.